What your competition does is it helps reveal to you your weaknesses.
Competition is good. It keeps you awake at night. It makes you think.
You get the benefit of hearing what everybody else has to think before you render your opinion. It's like a hammer. You can use it broadly or narrowly. You can build a table, you can build a house. It's the same tool.
I wake up every morning.
Entspresso, keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
Now, I said before that the only true competitor in an infinite game is yourself. This is true. What your competition does is it helps reveal to you your weaknesses. Admire the others in your organization, not to beat them, there's no such thing. Not to be number one, there's no such thing. But if somebody else is better than you at something, that means you have to go work harder yourself. It's like running in a race. If you're driven to be number one, if you're driven to make the most money, if you're driven to show up in some arbitrary ranking that you don't even have a say in, that's like tripping the next runner. You will win the race, but you're still a slow runner. Rather, fall behind this year, and then you work and work and work, because ultimately the goal is not to be number one this year. The goal is to create an organization that will outlast every single one of you. This is about building strong foundations. This is about looking long-term. And the short-term, money is simply fuel to make the car go. We don't own cars to buy more fuel. We own cars to go somewhere. It's the same thing in an organization. Your organization exists to advance something. The money is simply there to make it go. And I fear that what has happened in the university system is similar to what I'm seeing in business. It's similar to what I'm seeing in politics. It's similar to what I'm seeing in hospitals, which is the sense of excessive pressure to bring money in at the expense of something else. There's an excessive amount of short-termism and massive amounts of rationalizing. This is just the game. We just have to do it. If we don't, somebody else will. The obsession with getting grants, meaning you're hiring people who are more likely to help you get a grant, even though they're teaching things that we don't necessarily even need or want. That's called short-termism. Unfortunately, I can't tell you the last piece because I've run out of time.
You're going to be neighbours with Gordon Ramsay. How do you feel about that?
I think it's great, brilliant. I mean, I've always got on with him. I don't see him very often. He's in the States a lot, but when I do see him, we have a good laugh, and we cook in very different ways. We have very different customers, and we have very different audiences. So I think it's brilliant. If anything, he's going to bring more people here, which is good for me, really. But we've got quite a lot of good operators within a square 400 metres here. I've been doing it. I grew up in the business. It's competition is good. It keeps you awake at night. It makes you think. That's a good thing. And also, there's plenty of room for everyone. Whether it's great burgers down there, or Italians, or pizzas, or there's quite a lot going on. It's been a big thing for me. I grew up in a family business, so when your brother down the road had equipment that went pear-shaped, you lent him yours. I'd never really understood the very London attitude towards chefs and the bitterness and the hatred. And then for Adam, he don't even recognise it, because it's not like that out there. It's a fraternity. So that's why if Gordon comes next door, happy days. God bless him. And if his guys need anything, I'm here. And hopefully vice versa. If they run out of ice, I can go and get some cubes.
I mean, I personally started this rivalry from a young age, witnessing and worshiping Serena and Venus practicing at this tennis academy in Florida as a 13-year-old girl with hundreds of kids next to me. And she was already a Grand Slam champion with her sister. And the single thought that I had was I wanted to beat her. And a few years later, I find myself, it was literally as if someone took me and put me into a television screen of facing Serena Williams in a final. And I'm someone that honestly did not belong there. I mean, I had nothing. I was not ready. I was not as tall as I gotten to be. I was far from being as strong or physically capable of competing in 2 weeks, but somehow I was there and I was facing her, and she was intimidating. She was strong. Her presence was there. Her confidence, the confidence that she's played with for so many years. And, you know, so much of it is talked about. And I know that a lot of the headlines, a lot of the excerpts that were chosen from the book have been about Serena. And rightfully so, because so much of it has been talked for years on end. But deep down, there's an incredible amount of respect that I have for her. And one of the things I speak about in the book, it's almost like we should be friends because we understand what it's like every single day, and not just by playing tennis. It's not forehands and backhands, but we know everything that goes with the sport. The pressures, the responsibilities, the sponsors, the professionalism, the press conference, everything that we face. It's almost like we have so many like common factors, and yet we have to be rivals in order to beat each other. You know, we must have that drive against each other. And having her across the net only makes you a better player because her level is on another planet.
Competition is a good thing. If you're incompetent and you're in competition, you will feel stressed. So, if you want to be in a competitive situation, the thing is you have to work on your competence. Right now the problem is, you're tweaking your desire, you're not tweaking your competence. This is what has to happen, that we must teach children to tweak their competence, not their desire. We are calling this ambition, we are calling this goal-orientedness. Ambition means what? You tweaked up your desire, you'll suffer invariably. If you tweak up your competence, you will see wherever you go, you're doing better than what people expect you to, so naturally things will go well for you. Competition is not the bad thing. Lack of competence is the bad thing. So instead of competence, we have big desires. If you focus enough on enhancing your competence, you will see there is such joy in breaking limitations every day and becoming something better. You don't care a damn how somebody else is doing.
Some people see the thing that they want, and some people see the thing that prevents them from getting the thing that they want. It's as if an entire generation is standing at the foot of a mountain. They know exactly what they want. They can see the summit. What they can't see is the mountain.